How's it going, you sexy beasts? Today, I've gotten a hold of the second generation of the submachine gun class with the Terran Republic's PDW-16 Hailstorm. This SMG is perfect for nearly any class while fighting in biolabs or other close to medium range facilities. Sporting double the ammunition capacity to its predecessor, the Hailstorm is slightly superior to the previous generation Armistice SMG. The Terran Republic submachine guns feature the highest fire rate of all the weapons class, but also have the lowest damage per bullet. If you're an extremely offensive soldier, a submachine gun could be your favorite weapon to use while pushing an enemy line forward. If you prefer accuracy and damage over a bullet hose, you'd probably want to avoid this gun. So, let's go ahead and discuss the awesome looking dual magazine equipped PDW-16 Hailstorm available to the Terran Republic arsenal. If you've used a SMG in the past, then this weapon will be a welcome addition to your arsenal. The main inhibiting factor of the first generation submachine guns was the low capacity magazines. 30 rounds in your magazine, coupled with the high amount of bullets to kill, was just bad for business. This time around, with our second generation submachine guns, we're given the same damage model with slightly lower fire rate, but double the magazine size. This removes the necessity of an extended magazine attachment. Speaking of, there is no extended magazine attachment available, so you can use your beloved laser sight. The main differentiating aspect of submachine guns, as opposed to other weaponry, is the fact that your move speed is doubled in comparison to other weapons while aiming down the sights. SMGs can only gain a slight accuracy increase while aiming down the sights, but you'll still be able to stay maneuverable while engaging targets, despite not being as accurate as your opposition. One big advantage to the submachine guns is the fact that an infiltrator can equip it, giving you a massive close quarters combat standing while having the added benefit of cloaking. What all comes together for the Terran Republic to build this weapon of mass destruction? First up, we have a fire rate of 800 rounds per minute, which is pretty fast, but is more of the mid-range fire rate of all the available submachine guns. Every bullet deals 125 maximum damage, which will drop a target in 8 bullets. No other weapon class in the game requires 8 bullets to kill, aside from the default Terran Republic pistol. It may sound like a weak strength of the gun, but that's what a bullet hose is all about. With a fire rate of 800 rounds per minute and a 8 bullet kill, the Hailstorm will drop enemies in 0.6 seconds or a realistic time to kill of 1.81 seconds. This is only 0.04 seconds slower time to kill than other submachine guns, which is personally unnoticeable. Magazine capacity of the Hailstorm is 60 rounds, and with another 240 rounds carried in the reserve. This is a total of 300 rounds carried in comparison to the 180 for the Armistice first generation SMG. With a full magazine, the Hailstorm can drop a total of 7 enemies while wounding another before having to reload. The remaining 240 rounds in the reserve will allow us to take out another 30 hostiles. That's a delicious amount of killing potential. The short reload speed, with the rounds still left in the chamber, is 2.25 seconds, which is considerably fast in comparison to the other second generation SMGs. Long reload with a completely empty dual drum magazine is 2.8 seconds, which is still very quick as opposed to the new conglomerate's Blitz long reload speed of 3.5 seconds. Vertical recoil will pull upward at a rate of 0.2 degrees, and the muzzle pulls both left and right, while slightly favoring a rightward pull. First shot recoil multiplier is 2 times, but this isn't a very large factor for a submachine gun weapon class. This is another mid-range aspect, where the lowest recoil SMG belongs to the Terran's Armistice, while the highest recoil belongs to the new conglomerate's Cyclone. Projectile velocity of rounds fired from the Hailstorm move at a speed of 335 meters per second, which is another middle ground aspect of this weapon and the submachine gun class as a whole. Now, what are we going to grab in order to get the Hailstorm in top working condition? Due to the second generation submachine guns having a built-in extended magazine, the attachment has been removed as an option. With that, we'll default to the only remaining rail attachment that will benefit the strengths of the SMG the most, which is the laser sight and its advanced variants. This will tighten the cone of fire from the Hailstorm while firing from the hip, and make the weapon an even stronger contender for close quarters warfare. For the optics, you can honestly choose whatever you want. Aiming down the sights isn't always a preferable combat decision, as the improved accuracy is rather lackluster, as opposed to staying fully mobile while firing from the hip. Due to the iron sight setup though, we could choose just a reflex sight to get a wider field of view and to allow better target tracking while aiming down the sights. Only downside to a reflex on this weapon though is kind of looks pretty weird. But nothing diminishing for combat. As for the iron sights, we have an express sight, where the rear sights are a notched bar, which align with a forward circle encompassing a post. This is a pretty accurate iron sight, but is rather obtrusive, which can be avoided with the use of a reflex sight or an infrared sight. Anything with a more powerful magnification is rather excessive. Our final attachment slot, the barrel, will be covered by a suppressor. This complements the close quarters combat potential of the submachine gun very well, and will keep you off the minimap of your enemies while trying to stay stealthy or eliminate targets one by one. This synergizes perfectly with the cloaking potential of an infiltrator. As it currently stands, the suppressed and unsuppressed sounds for the Hailstorm are exactly the same, so expect people to know what you're hitting them with despite having a suppressor equipped. Finally, the only ammunition we have available is the soft point rounds. This is entirely optional. This attachment allows your SMG to hold its damage for a further distance, but cause the rounds to travel much slower. Honestly, both of these aspects will not impact the weapon with how you're supposed to fight with it. Pick it up if you think it'll give you an edge in combat. If not, skipping it is an entirely viable option. If you fought with another close quarters weapon, such as another submachine gun or even a shotgun, then the Hailstorm should be of no surprise to you with how it acts. With how it handles, you'll be spending most of your time firing from the hip as opposed to aiming down the sights. Keep in mind how the accuracy bloom affects your cone of fire after sprinting though. This isn't Call of Duty, so immediately trying to shoot after sprinting will more than likely cause your cone of fire to be far too spread out. If you have just a split second to spare and notice a target that is within firing distance, stop sprinting and resume walking at a normal pace or stand still for just a second. This will cause your crosshairs bloom to reset and give you a much more accurate series of shots. Burst firing with this weapon will be your friend. If you fire fully automatically, the cone of fire will spread too far and your already weak damaging bullets will surely scatter around the target as opposed to hitting them. The Hailstorm is an awesome submachine gun and is perfect for the player who wants to run between corridors, play quick hit and run tactics, and flank quite often. Have you decided to check in on the price tag of the PDW-16 Hailstorm yet? It's a tier 4 weapon which will cost you 1,000 certification points or 700 station cash. After you've grabbed your Hailstorm, I'm sure you'll be wanting to get some attachments. Grabbing your optics of choice, you'll add another 30 certification points. Slap on a suppressor to the end of your barrel for another 100 certification points. Finally, get a laser sight and its advanced variant for a final 200 certification points or 100 for each. This gives the PDW-16 Hailstorm a total price tag of 1,330 certification points to bring it up to full combat effectiveness. If you want to grab the soft point ammunition, which is completely optional, go ahead for yet another 100 certs. After doing so, your final price tag will be 1,430 certs. That's a large chunk of change, but pretty worth it if you take into consideration the fact that this weapon is usable on all of your classes. So there you go, you sexy beasts. The Terran Republic's PDW-16 Hailstorm. This SMG is a beast in close quarters with its large magazines and insane fire rate. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Got an idea for my next weapon review? Go ahead and drop a comment in the section below, or let SOE know that the Vano should totally get some Mag Rider roller skates. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs it down and let me know what I can improve on. Remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Want to see more videos like this? Go ahead and subscribe. It's free.